I want to share with you a few key things that you need to keep in mind before you start your own business that not many people even bother considering. I also want to share with you why out of all the business models that you can get involved with, I think that coaching is the best path to move forward. Hi, I'm Doron Lazarus, integrative sleep coach and founder of the Sleep Coach Academy, and I've spent the last decade building businesses from the world of nonprofit to my own sleep coaching practice to actually going out and training other coaches to get into the field and be successful themselves. And that's why I'm so excited to share this insight with you today, so you can bypass all the mistakes that I made and be able to hit the ground running in your next business enterprise. The first point I want you to consider is why you would even want to start a business at all. Many people see steady employment as having the advantage of getting a regular paycheck, having set hours, and taking less risk. And while I believe being somebody else's employee is a path for many people, and I completely respect that, but I also feel that for many people, entrepreneurship is their way forward to find their personal and professional success. And I think there's really three main factors that drive a person from having a day job to be able to run your own business. Number one is the illusion of stability. While a day job can seem set, you get your W-2 paycheck, you're in, you're out, you have your hours. At the same time, all that can come crashing down instantly. Your company downsizes, gets bought out, or changes directions. Or maybe your boss just isn't happy with your performance. It can come out of the blue, and all of a sudden, you're without a job. I lost 2 jobs of my life, and I remember the second time that I was fired, having the responsibility of a family, having at that point to start my own business, it was very daunting. And I really wish I would have considered the route of entrepreneurship and personal stability even before that. One day, my boss just called me in and told me, you know what, Doron, we are not renewing your contract. You're just not performing in the way that we'd like. And the rug was pulled out from my feet. I thought I was going to be there for the long term. I thought I was doing fine. Little did I know that's not what he had in mind. And therefore, starting to invest in your own business now, in fact, grants long-term stability. Your capacity to be able to earn where you want, how you want, enables you to really play the market the way that you see best. The second factor that I believe drives individuals towards entrepreneurship is the pay. Let's be honest, for most families to thrive, there are very few jobs that pay a salary that's going to allow your family to cover all their expenses and more with ease. And those jobs that do tend to require years of training and have high stress environments with a lot of pressure and long work hours. Entrepreneurship can be the quickest way to start earning that which you and your family need to thrive without going back to school and slogging away for years. The third factor that drives a lot of people towards the world of entrepreneurship is passion. They're simply bored in their day job. They're bored being somebody else's employee. They have a zest of creativity, of passion, of flair, of making who they are as an individual. And trying to find an employer that's going to match that is very challenging, if possible at all. And therefore, the great part of finding your own business is really doing it in a way that you love, working with the kind of people you like, in the industry you like, in a way that suits your personality and your needs. So if you're excited, if you're sold on the idea of starting your own business, there are a few factors you have to keep in mind. Because I remember when I had that realization that now is time to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to run around to another job with the risk of getting hired or fired just like that. I was ready to start my own business. I really took a step back and considered all of my options. And I was looking who is doing what, what's going on out there, and what is the quickest and best way to start running a business to support my family in a way that I love. If you break down business models to 2 essential components, you have a goods-based business and a service-based business. The goods business sells stuff, while the service business sells the one-on-one interaction in working with real live people. And while the goods business can seem very lucrative, mass marketing products, there's also a lot of competition, especially being undercut directly from the suppliers, which usually are not based in the US. A friend of mine has been in the jewelry business for years, and he shared with me how personally challenging it has become. Once upon a time, he, as the middleman between Chinese warehouses and US consumers, he was able to make a killing. But right now, the online portals are going directly to the suppliers, cutting him out entirely. So I personally feel that if you want to start a business, going into a service-based business as opposed to goods is really the easiest and safest way to go. Once you've thought about that service-based business model that makes sense, that you're both passionate about, excited about, feel like it's really you, as well as something that's needed in the market and can pay a high salary. Once you've found that niche, I want you to consider the following possibilities. What is best case and worst case scenario? What does your initial investment into that business look like? Many people go into things like real estate or nursing homes, which can be very lucrative, but also offer a very high risk and a very large initial investment to get started. What does your ongoing regular overhead look like? I know for my father, who ran a private medical practice for decades, the overhead of his practice was $200 an hour just to keep the lights on. That means his business had to generate $200 just to break even before he could even see a profit per hour. Another thing you need to keep in mind, and this really drove me towards the coaching space, was how many factors in your business are simply not in your control. Is your business affected by the interest rate, lenders and investors who may or may not be happy with their returns? Are you dealing with tenants that might run out of money or go MIA and run expensive evictions? Is your business faced by high levels of government regulation that could come in and cite you and shut you down at any moment? And what does turning a profit for you even look like? How long after your initial investment of your money and your time can you expect to make a profit on this investment? Buying franchises can look nice, but many times the road towards profit is many years down the line, and many people simply don't have that kind of time to wait. And what about passion? Are you excited about your business idea and venture? I remember when I was first thinking about the coaching space, I was looking at a lot of different models. What can I do that's going to be valuable to the market? And I thought to myself, maybe I will do marketing for orthodontic firms. And I started speaking to orthodontists and coming up with pipeline ideas and marketing channels and how I was going to get out there and pitch the firms. And then I thought to myself, Doron, I think you actually hate that idea. I would not like to get up in the morning and do that every day. And so I really had to go back to the drawing board and think, who was I? What did I see myself doing? And how could I pick a niche and a business model that really spoke to me? And that's why when I started looking into coaching, all of the answers really scored yes. There was a low initial investment to get into the industry, little government regulation, and few factors outside of your ability to connect with others and help them solve their problems. There was a high demand and payout, especially in the sleep space where there are so many hundreds of millions of people struggling in this area. To give an example of how satisfying and fulfilling that coaching has been, I want to share a story of one of the first clients that I worked with. She was a lady in New York, and ever since her husband passed away, she was dealing with high levels of depression, obesity, sleep issues, and chronic exhaustion. Before she met me, she literally felt like life was over and she was just wasting away. She had no energy or hope to continue. And within a very short amount of time, we were able to work together to get her life, her mindset, her energy, and her sleep back on track. And to see her make that kind of transformation, to go from hopeless to hopeful, really gave me the vision and the excitement to be able to not only help this person, to help so many others like her. Another example was a lady who recently called me from New York. She is a therapist and in a community of other therapists. The problem was that all of her therapy and knowledge of her own mental health couldn't help her for her postpartum sleep anxiety that she experienced. Her mentor in psychology told her to come work with us, but by that time, she literally felt that she was hopeless. She was never going to sleep naturally. She wasn't going to be a good therapist or a mom. She felt like she had no hope. And even through the process, there were ups and downs, but after a few months of working together, she was back to being perfect. She was back to sleeping well, grounded, on her feet, being that amazing mother and therapist that she knew she could be. And that was really important to me. Going from the nonprofit world, I didn't just want another job. I didn't just want to do something to make money. I really prided myself in engaging in a vocation that would allow me to help people and feel that sense of satisfaction and pride in everything that I did. And that's why I believe that if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to start a business to support your family, coaching is the way to go. You're able to learn valuable skills to take to market and transform people's lives, to be able to get cash for your work and feel a tremendous pride and self-satisfaction in what you do. If you love learning, if you're passionate about helping others, and you enjoy that one-on-one interaction, coaching can be a great business to launch your entrepreneurship and your success. What do you think? What have you seen in the past work or not work in the realm of business models? How much of a risk are you willing to take to make it big, and what do you feel is your next step moving forward? If you feel that sleep coaching or any coaching could be part of your future, I'd love to be in touch and learn more about your dreams and see how we could partner together to be able to get you on your feet and having an exciting, lucrative coaching career. I will include a link below to my calendar, and you can learn more about how the Sleep Coach Academy takes anybody, no matter what their background, and helps them hit the coaching community running. This has been Doron Lazarus, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.